Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this Friday afternoon, evening mountain weather update. Let's go to radar first. So, our storm system is on the move. Now, this wave of moisture is rolling through Nevada, and it's on the doorstep of Utah, the Wasatch Front, the high Uintas, and it's moving through Idaho towards the Tetons and also Big Sky and Yellowstone. So, it's going to be sliding through those areas, but this is not a major storm system. Looking like light to moderate accumulations for most of these places tonight and tomorrow morning. This will also blow through Colorado tomorrow afternoon. Still looks very light, like a dusting for the high peaks in Colorado as this moves through tomorrow. Okay, let me give you the lay of the land here on the water vapor this afternoon. And so again, on this, the dry air aloft is in the oranges and the reds. Your moisture is right here. You can see this little area of low pressure with the whites and the blues. That's your moisture aloft. And our low is going to be sliding through this area over the next 24 hours. And again, there's not a lot of moisture with this thing, but the flow behind it is active. You can see where everything is coming from. And so all this energy upstream will eventually move into the west. And down the road, one of the key features, you can't see it now, but there's this trough that's going to set up off the west coast and help to steer storm systems and moisture into the west coast up the entire coastal range from the Sierra into Oregon into Washington, the high Cascades, and all the volcanoes. So we'll look at that in the extended forecast. Quite a bit of snow is possible with that setup right along the coast. All right, here's my key timeline for snow best odds: Wasatch, Tetons, Colorado, Tahoe, and interior BC. So, for example, in the Wasatch, tonight through tomorrow morning, light to moderate snow accumulations. Light to moderate on 11:18, and then heavy potential on 11:24. In Colorado, the afternoon of 11:16, light accumulations, very light. And then moderate 11:18, afternoon 11:18 into 11:19, and then heavy on 11:24. So you can see we've got some definite possibilities here of some heavier snow down the road. Like the pattern that would set up would be like 11:20 to 11:25 with this trough sitting off the west coast steering all this moisture in. Here's the forecast radar and the satellite. So by 5:30 this afternoon, there's Saturday morning. Got some snow through Montana, the Tetons, the Wasatch, and then it rolls through Colorado in the afternoon. You can see some of the streaks of blue there. But boy, it's going to be fast moving, and there really isn't much in the afternoon. Then it's gone. And then it's all about what's happening up in the Pacific Northwest and across the West Coast. You can see the storm system there with some pretty good snow through parts of BC, Washington State, and Oregon, with some spillover snow or overrun into parts of central to northern Idaho and northwest Montana. Also, watch in southern Colorado and northern New Mexico. Here comes this area of low pressure coming up from the south, but it kind of just brushes extreme southern Colorado, northern New Mexico as it kind of pinwheels on by, and it moves out. And then notice it's all about what's on the coattails. Another storm system drops down on 1819 through a lot of the Intermountain into Colorado. And then that moves away. And then look at that big storm system, that big spin, that area of spin and that spiral. That's what's going to hit the West Coast. So this is 1120, just the start of this with very heavy snows across a lot of the Cascades, BC, down into northern California, Oregon. Eventually, some of this will reach Tahoe, but there we are on Wednesday afternoon, more of the same. By Thursday, look at the overrun, some of the precip snow into parts of Idaho and Montana into BC. On 21, another shot of moisture. 22, it's still there. 22, look at all the Sierra getting snow. 22, 23, 24, and then some of that does crack off and move into the interior states of Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, and Colorado. 11:23, 11:24. So my latest snow forecast here this afternoon looks like this. So between the rest of today, tonight, and tomorrow, this is what I'm expecting: 3 to 4 inches across the Tetons, Big Sky, probably 2 to 5 inches across the Wasatch. And in Colorado, again, very light, half an inch, a dusting for most places. Some places might squeeze out an inch, very high up. And probably 6 to 8, 6 to 9 inches up in the Pacific Northwest, in parts of BC. Second time period, a lot more going on here. So right away, you notice all the big totals up and down the West Coast: Sierra, Oregon, Washington, BC. It's because of like two or three different storm systems being shuttled in and that moisture is like a pipeline coming in with that big trough. So we're just slamming moisture, and we could see a foot or more over Tahoe and Mammoth, and potentially feet of snow up and down Washington State and Oregon over the high Cascades and the volcanoes, all the way down to Shasta. Interior BC could really benefit from this as well, with a foot or more of accumulation, just heavy overrun, and some snow there for central and northern Idaho. Could see a foot or more, could see a foot up in northwest Montana, could see a foot over the Tetons, probably 5 to 8 over the Wasatch, and in Colorado, some snow on the 19th. And then again around the 23rd, 24th. So looking for maybe 3 to 10 inches, 4 to 10 inches across a lot of Colorado with that. So this will be an interesting time period here, especially late in the period on 1120 through 1125, with quite a bit of moisture being moved in off the Pacific. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in here to this Friday afternoon, evening mountain weather update. I appreciate it. Take care.